Alright, that's JDCR. Video quality looks like shit. No, it looks okay. I'm gonna speak a little bit about Tekken Tag 2. I saw on Tekken Reddit someone ask, why does everyone in the community hate Tag 2? It sure seems like it. And people wrote all kinds of reasons and said that not everyone hates it. But it does have quite a soiled reputation. I'm not a fan of it myself. I hated the game the last 2 years of its lifespan. I much more enjoy Tekken 7. But a lot of people have been asking why do people dislike Tag 2? So I thought I could just make a brief video on the topic because I find it quite interesting. So, for those of you who don't know, who joined us for Tekken 7, Tekken Tag 2 was the game released prior to Tekken 7. Tekken 7 was released in 2017, Tag 2 2012, in September if I remember correctly. So we played this game for 5 years. And it's a tag game. The only tag game we had prior to that was Tekken Tag 1, which was horribly broken. So this was always a risk. How do you balance a Tekken game and include a tag mechanic? And boy oh boy, it was difficult. So part 1, why I do not like the game. Overcrowded. 50 fucking characters. And you know, just learning 30 matchups in Tekken. Good luck to you, sir. You know, get that PhD. 50 characters and being forced to lab a gazillion characters because guess what? You're always facing 2 characters. You always needed a shitload of character knowledge in this game, and it was just overcrowded, too many characters. And my favorite part of the roster was that all of the really scrubby characters like Lily, Law, Capo, Xiaoyu, those characters are not scrubby per se, but they are lab characters that say, oh, it's up to you now, you better know this matchup because I know how to push buttons. Those types of characters, lab characters. They always had a double, a clone. So basically, oh, I love to scrub with Capo. So they would scrub with Capo and you'd beat one of them. You beat Eddie and you were like, oh, thank God, that's over with. And he hits the tag button and in comes Christy. And you're like, go fuck yourself. Like, well, where's my double Kazuya or fucking double Heihachi? So that always pissed me off with that game. To no fucking no reason did they include those fucking clones. So that's the roster. It had a lot of balancing issues. A lot of teams had awkward setups that would kill you. Capo, legendary, infamous, back 1-4, probably one of the most broken moves to ever be in Tekken. I actually have to show this move because I think a lot of people might not know what I am referring to. And I have a perfect video for this. We will search Tekken Tag 2 in 18 seconds if my memory serves me. Okay, so this is a 14 frame mid. Well, it's the same move in Tekken 7. We'll see. This move. Back 1 here. That's a 14 frame mid. To give you an idea of how fast that is, that's as fast as on Electric Wind Godfist. It's as fast as Kazuya's back 2 or down 4-2. It's insanely fast. And it was perfectly safe, you know, mid-mid into handstand, you can pressure, the Capo pressures, it's perfectly safe. Super easy to do. Back 1-4. If you note that, oh, it counter hit, you could use this as a parry. People would do this move all day. You could counter hit, confirm it, you can see when it counter hits, it would spark. Then you include 3+4. You could hit confirm this very easily. And you'd get this. And now you can tag. Note that this is no wall, but it's rage. And it basically killed Bob. I mean, you have 180 HP in Tekken Tag 2. So this is 150 plus damage. And this is without a wall. This is without a wall. So I'm just saying, there were a lot of balancing issues in the game. This isn't the only one. And yeah, I might as well make this point here. You know, Rage was broken as fuck. You might not like Rage art in Tekken 7, but in Tag 2, you had this... if you don't know how Rage worked in Tag 2, it was for about 10 seconds or more, your character would do like 150% damage. And in the game, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about the ridiculous damage in Tag 2. In Tag 2, after a bound, you could hit the tag button, you'd get a tag assault. And the your partner character comes in, does shit, and then it's the other character's turn again to do shit. Combos could last, I think I timed a combo once in practice mode, 15 seconds long. Combos were never ending. And the tag assault on itself gave a shitload more damage. But add the rage onto that, and you get what you just saw with Back 1-4. People would die immediately. The risk reward in that game, I mean, a hop kick, you know, a hop kick in Tekken 7 can be quite annoying because it's a good move, it crushes lows, it's 15 frames fast, it's got range, most often, you know, if you play Cloud, God knows you have range, and it's only minus 13. So what's the reward if it lands? You get 70 plus damage, or 80 if you have a wall, or 85. If it's blocked, you risk eating 30 damage, a 12 frame punish. You know what this looked like in Tag 2? If a hop kick, the reward was, with Tag Assault, monstrous in some cases. I mean, some teams with a wall did a gazillion damage with Tag Assault. But if they had Rage, you know what the hop kick was then? It was, if you block it, you will get 30 damage. If they hit the hop kick, you're dead. And I think my brother actually stopped playing. He's played every Tekken. He currently plays Tekken 7. But within 2 months of Tag 2's release, he stopped playing Tekken. And he started playing again with Tekken 7. And why did he stop with Tag 2? Because, as he said, like, the combos last too long. There's too big of a reward hitting combos, especially with Rage Art, so that the game basically became a game about launchers. And that's why Mishimas were so dominant in Tag 2. It was because they have the electric. They have arguably the best launcher, and you can tag it. You can tag the electric, you know, and any character in the game with a tagged electric gets a max damage combo. And in a game where combos do so much damage and are so important, yeah, Mishimas were super strong, you know. And that's why, for example, as soon as Tekken 7 hit the market, Kazuya and Heihachi didn't do so well in Tekken 7 because it wasn't as juggle-oriented. It's still juggle-oriented, but not to the degree Tag 2 was. And I might as well add that I thought the soundtrack was very weak. The graphics are very weak. I would say it's better than Tekken 6, but Tekken 6 looked horrible. If you haven't seen Tekken 6, it was released on PS3. On arcades it was 720p, crisp. And on console it was 560p, I think. And grainy as fuck. And with models, with modeling problems, you know, edges that weren't softened and stuff like that. It just looked really bad. And Tag 2, it's just not very pleasing to the eye. I don't know, do I even have to say anything else about this game? I think that kind of says it all. No rematch function in ranked battle, you always had to find a new opponent. And the cancer it was, you know, that all of the scrubbiest characters always had a clone. So you'd always face double Kapos, Asuka and Jun, double Lily. I mean, those teams, you would see them like 50% of the time you would be playing against those teams. But yeah, that Heihachi costume is really cool. It really is. But yeah, that is why Tag 2 still has quite a shitty reputation with a lot of people. You do have some elitist Tag 2 enthusiasts who feel it's 50 times better than Tekken 7 due to its complexity and difficulty. And they are correct here. This is the most complicated Tekken game ever made. It really is limitless almost in complexity, and you can spend... I think it's like a famous Korean player said when Tekken 7 hit the arcades. He said that, well, we've had 5 years with Tag 2, but we could have spent another 5 years on this game, because as good as you think you might be, you know, Ni, JDCR, even they do not know more than 30% of Tag 2, because we're just discovering new stuff every day, optimizing combos and setups. It really is complicated, but the complexity worked against it. Just because something is overly complicated doesn't mean it's quality. But yeah, Tekken 7 all the way on Tag 2. Oh my god, Ni stepped right out of the 70s. He really has changed his look lately, hasn't he?